the way from the moment they build, because as you say, Ter Stegen needs to play very long for the first 15 minutes. When they start beating that pressure, and that's the problem for Real Madrid, not a physical thing, a mental thing, the type of players that they have, they won't allow to continue that. Then Barcelona becomes much more comfortable. They will mix one day. They will try to surprise them a little bit in the build-up, and they will try to defend deep as well and counter-attack them, because still is another way of beating Barcelona, to counter-attack them.
Campions, of course, Catalan for champions. Javi, very briefly, obviously Roma beat Barcelona in the Champions League. What can Real Madrid take from that into this game? Anything that applies, do you think?
I think Real Madrid has his personality, his way of play, and I agree with Guillem. I don't think today Real Madrid will be very aggressively pressing very high. I think they wait, and it depends on the position of Gareth Bale. I want to see if he is higher or not.
OK, so the teams are on the pitch. We just heard the Barca anthem resounding around the Camp Nou. So let's hand you to your commentary team. It's a very good evening to Terry Gibson and Rob Palmer.
And buenas noches, David. Not a spare seat in the house, and as you can see, loud and proud, screaming out from the stadium is champions. Well, it's the champions of Spain and the cup winners against the reigning champions of Europe. But how long will this last? This is the invincible team of Barcelona. Sergio Roberto returns in defence. Andres Iniesta plays his last ever Clásico. Philippe Coutinho plays his first ever La Liga Clásico. Well, they'll be hoping that the team are as tuned as their supporters are in wonderful voice tonight. The stadium perfectly choreographed. Very few are neutral when it comes to this particular game, but Senor Hernandez is said to be. Sergio Ramos is going to be hiding from him because Ramos has been sent off twice by the referee from Lanzarote. This is the Real Madrid team. Nacho plays a right back. Carvajal is currently injured. Isco is missing as well. The surprise inclusion, I suppose you could say, is that of Gareth Bale. And this is what Liverpool fear. They have a star-studded bench as well. Well, that's the view from above. As David mentioned, 192 different countries, an estimated 500 million people tuning in. Calmest man in the house, Ernesto Valverde. Cristiano Ronaldo against Lionel Messi. It is a game that needs no hype, but even Ronaldo and Messi are overshadowed this evening by the great Andres Iniesta. There was a film recently, wasn't the greatest show on earth? It's quite often been the greatest game on earth. Well, they say there's nothing on it this year. Try telling them that in Spain. It's a clash of ideologies, political theories, and footballing ideologies as well. The reigning champions of Europe, Real Madrid, 20 days away from going to Kiev and playing against Liverpool in the elite European competition against Barcelona, who have done the double for the 8th time. Terry Gibson said it may be a little bit nasty tonight. It's taken less than 30 seconds for our first over-the-top tackle.
Yeah, 15 seconds, Rakitic on Casemiro. A lot's been made of the fact that the Barcelona haven't already sewn up the league title. This might not be as competitive as usual. Please, it certainly will be. Real Madrid coming to Barcelona, trying to put a stop to the unbeaten run, the unbeaten record of Barcelona. And of course, Barcelona want to emphasise how dominant they have been in La Liga this season.
Well, there's quite a gap between these two teams in the standings. 15 points between third-placed Real Madrid and Barcelona, who are top of the table. They both have mid-week games as well. But this is it, how Real Madrid would love to end Barcelona's 41-game unbeaten run. Here's Busquets. Here's a man who needs no introduction. Flanked by Sergio Roberto. gives you an insight into the mind of Valverde, the fact that Dembele is on the bench tonight. The world's second costliest player. Philippe Coutinho is out there centre field. Of course, Neymar is the costliest player. When the sides met just before Christmas, it was a rare occasion where it wasn't the costliest players on earth who were doing battle. I've worked it out tonight that it is 4 of the 6 costliest players ever. There's Dembele to Lionel Messi, who's quite simply priceless. Iniesta to Rakitic. Iniesta surveying his manner one final time. Lovely little ball looking for Jordi Alba. And Naylor comes off his line, but taking control of the situation is Nacho. Nacho's played every position in the back four this season. Gareth Bale, a surprise inclusion, but a loose pass, and Sergio Roberto is onto it very quickly.
Just looking at lineups, I was interested to see whether Coutinho would remain on the left and perhaps Iniesta play on the right, but Coutinho is the player that's occupying the right side of the midfield players. And for Real Madrid, it's back to the BBC. Ronaldo is slightly to the left, Benzema up front, Gareth Bale on the right. At this moment in time, you're never really sure what tactics, what system that Zidane is going to choose, but it's 4-3-3.
There's Messi! Suarez, he's looking sharp tonight. They combined brilliantly last weekend, and they do have this telepathic understanding.
He's excelled in the last couple of games, hasn't he, Luis Suarez? See, perfect pass from Messi, but well-timed run. When he'd been caught offside, Luis Suarez denied the opening goal of the game there. Early stages, Barcelona looking sharp.
Real Madrid had hardly made it out of their half in the opening 3.5 minutes of this game. They're content to sit back, to absorb. They knew this was coming. Iniesta caught by another one of the veterans, Luka Modric.
Messi here with just the perfect weight on the pass. Varane, Keylor Navas between the two of them managed to deny Luis Suarez.
Messi to deliver, comfortably into the hands of Keylor Navas. Well, his goalkeeping seemed to gather strength in midweek after he cut off his hair. And the heroes against Bayern Munich were, well, certainly two players who have been unsung. Navas and this man, Karim Benzema. Benzema seeking Cristiano Ronaldo, his first touch of the game. Cue the boos. Ronaldo does his dance, and good rearrangement of the footwork from Ter Stegen.
Yep, definitely playing on the left, isn't he? It's been quite a while since we've seen Ronaldo occupy that position wide. It's back to the good old days for Real Madrid, isn't it? The 4-3-3 with the Casemiro and Modric gross midfield combination, that Benzema, Bale and Ronaldo up front. Say good old days, a season ago.
Oh, Ronaldo's, he was convinced then that he had sprung the offside trap. Next season we'll have VAR to go with his theory. He had to go with the cut of the grass.
Yeah, I think it's offside. See the assistant referee in line, it was very close.
Ronaldo loves the Nou Camp field. If only he could play here every week. His last 11 games, he's scored 11 goals at the Nou Camp. That's never going to happen, is it, Terry?
Mischievous, Rob.
Messi. Anticipated by Ramos. Marcelo quickly to Casemiro. But when they met in the final game before Christmas, Zinedine Zidane experimented with his side, and it backfired spectacularly. Real Madrid were beaten at the Bernabeu by 3-0. And it is a selection, I think, that everybody would have anticipated this evening.
It was Kovacic and Casemiro in midfield, central midfield, and Toni Kroos and Modric either side. It came as a huge surprise when the 11 was announced. It clearly didn't work.
Benzema. Marcelo. Kroos. Ramos equals the great Piri for appearances in Real Madrid shirt tonight, making him the 8th all-time appearance maker. Toni Kroos. The workaholic Benzema to Marcelo. Ronaldo in his old left wing position. Still trying to score from impossible angles.
Exactly.
Rakitic to Messi. Marcelo playing the high ground. Not too many people have been in the air by Lionel Messi, and that's because little Argentinian used foul methods.
They can expel from Real Madrid in terms of keeping possession, in terms of pressing and winning the ball back. They're doing it rather quickly now, and see Messi and Marcelo neither really fancied that aerial challenge, did they?
Ramos to Kroos. Nacho. Gareth Bale takes it in his stride. Bale helps it in. There's always a chance with Ronaldo. And Piqué enters his first call.
Well, you know, he's going to be enthusiastic and eager when the ball is on the opposite side of the field of play to get himself into the penalty area, to get on the end of crosses. It's predominantly been what his game has been about this season, the ultimate finisher, one-touch finisher.
Jordi Alba, who's been so outstanding for Barcelona this season. The creator of 8 goals. Andres Iniesta to Suarez. Well, in theory, it should be Barcelona who are the more energetic team after Real Madrid had to really strain themselves in the Champions League in midweek. Rakitic. Messi. Offside. Ronaldo wants, offside. Lionel Messi wants.
Almost a brilliant pass from even Rakitic. The sky's on it as well. He's looking to his right, whipped it in behind.
Messi. Suarez. Brilliant run here from Sergio Roberto. Now, Messi may have been offside, Roberto wasn't. Messi checks himself on. There's a spare man at the far post, and that man is Suarez, and Suarez has scored the first goal of the Clásico. Goal 30 of the season, his most special goal of the season.
Well, every aspect of this goal in terms of technical play is absolutely stunning. Movement off the ball initially, but the delivery of the passing, the timing of the runs off the ball, and eventually an immaculate finish from Luis Suarez. You can see the build-up there. Coutinho drops in, the ball in behind. Sergio Roberto continues his run. He has options. Messi's holding his run, then sprints into the penalty area, takes 2 defenders with him. Sergio Roberto is the type of player that will always see the right and the correct option. It's exactly what he does. Luis Suarez gets great contact with it, great connection. Maybe just off the shin slightly, but it's ending up in exactly the place that he wishes to put it. That's back across goal, back across Keylor Navas. Stunning goal from Barcelona.
Technically perfect, perfect in so many ways. I was just looking down at my notes to see when the last 0-0 draw was. We don't need that one anymore. It was 2002, just in case you ever have it in a quiz.
It's 21 now without a clean sheet for Real Madrid in the Clásico. His last one was back in 2007, and to concede so early in the game. This will be a concern, of course, with the game that's coming up in a few weeks' time. Any of the players that for Real Madrid that Zidane sees goes crashing to the ground, that's not too much to worry about. So Brazilian Coutinho and his Brazilian international teammate Marcelo.
Well, Suarez, of course, scored in the first La Liga Clásico this season, but it took Barcelona 54 minutes on that occasion. know the Real Madrid supporters will want me to remind the Culés that they won against Barca, home and away, in the Spanish Super Cup at the start of the season, which prompted Gerard Piqué to say for the first time in his Barcelona career he felt that he was in an inferior squad. It's a little bit too late to catch Suarez like that. Nacho will be the first player to be cautioned.
I think that's a consequence of 3 or 4 other challenges that have gone on in the game, isn't it? And the referee attempting now to clamp down on things. It's a challenge from behind, isn't it, from a defender that's never going to win the ball cleanly. Messi and Coutinho really beginning to form a really good understanding now.
It's the first, it won't be the last yellow card. Here is Philippe Coutinho. Oh, to the marauding Sergio Roberto did well to keep on his feet, and Suarez didn't do quite so well staying on his feet. He's got into a little off-the-ball argument with the goalkeeper, Keylor Navas. Meanwhile, play continues around the spat between the pair. It's Coutinho stopped by Marcelo. Sergio Roberto to Busquets. Busquets bringing Jordi Alba into play. A rip-roaring start to the 177th Clásico. Suarez to Iniesta. Now Messi. Roberto. Messi ever available. Rakitic.
They're sticking there at the moment, Real Madrid, haven't they, under real pressure from Barcelona and moving the ball about quickly, sharply. Look, the fresher team and sharper team at the moment, having not played in midweek.
Alba to Coutinho. Ramos always had him in his sights. Casemiro. Toni Kroos takes it brilliantly, the German, leaves Busquets behind. Benzema goes right. Ronaldo's always the first port of call. Ronaldo enters the area with intent. Toni Kroos, goalkeeper's lost it. Benzema, Ronaldo! Real Madrid back. Ronaldo inspired.
Well, I said about Real Madrid sticking in there. This is the Real Madrid way of sticking in games. To get back forward, to get on the front foot, and to get the equaliser. It's against the run of play. Ronaldo does pick up a knock. Just mentioned about Zidane is going to be anxious, but Ronaldo shows his enthusiasm again to get into a goal-scoring position, involved in the build-up. It's a brilliant cross again. We've seen 2 crosses of the highest order. This one from Toni Kroos to the far post. Benzema with a header. Is it going to go in? I don't think it is. I think Ronaldo has to get there ahead of Piqué to force home the equaliser.
Well, it was courage and commitment for Cristiano Ronaldo to beat Piqué in the chase. In some ways, Terry, with the league already decided, Real Madrid in the Champions League next season, the players are playing with more freedom, aren't they?
They are, and of course, once that first whistle blows in a game as competitive as this always is, both teams are going to go flat out to try and get the win. When we see the quality of attacking players on the pitch for both teams.
What did we say? 192 different countries seeing the game this evening. The most concerned country will be Portugal. Well, the human eye captured Cristiano Ronaldo off earlier in the game.
The concern is going to be this knock, isn't it? He was appealing against the offside decision, very close. I thought it was just offside, but certainly by a fraction. But the way he recovered after scoring that goal, you can see him getting to his feet, and as he walked away, he was still wincing in pain. I would be very surprised if there's any risk whatsoever. I know it's a Clásico, but of course the Champions League final does take priority for Real Madrid, and if there's any risk towards Ronaldo continuing this game, then I'm sure Zidane will replace him.
I'm sensing a surge on the red half of Merseyside, so get him back on, see if he can pull it, tear it a little bit more.
I say replace him, try to replace him.
Yeah, he's irreplaceable.
Exactly.
33 years of age, Cristiano Ronaldo. What an incredible physique as well.
Zidane close by there, but he wasn't getting involved in the discussion with the physios and Ronaldo.
Casemiro. Well, just as a precaution, Marco Asensio is limbering up down on the touchline. Maybe one day he'll be the successor to Cristiano Ronaldo in the long term.
You see the angle from the header from Benzema. It's going across goal, isn't it? It needs finishing. I must admit, initially I thought it was going towards goal, and Ronaldo had to get there in front of Gerard Piqué. Had to get the touch, puts Real Madrid back on level terms. It's great to see the goals going in, isn't it? There's no hint of either team sitting back, looking to try and make things tight, keep things nice and solid. All-out attack from both teams, and excellent game so far.
It's a game of modern science, but I think they're using old school. They're seeing if Cristiano Ronaldo can run it off. Here is Messi. Legged up by Casemiro.
Talk about crosses and deliveries in the final third. You see Messi crowded out there by Casemiro and Marcelo, but the cross from Sergio Roberto, the cross from Toni Kroos, absolutely perfect. And so often you see players get in that position and choose the wrong option, or overhit, or hit the cross too low. Two fantastic crosses served up the opportunities for both teams to score the goal.
Iniesta. Oh, it's a fine ball from Suarez. Luka Modric. Piqué. Iniesta in his own time, still at the peak of his powers. Lionel Messi. Oh, it's a brilliant ball by Messi. Wonderful run from Jordi Alba. They are the team that try the impossible, and sometimes it comes off.
Well, how many times have we seen that, particularly this season? As soon as Messi gets turned, he knows that Jordi Alba is on the march, and Jordi Alba is almost a replica of the goal that Barcelona scored. Those two players combining against Valencia earlier in the season at the Mestalla.
Low head, high boot, free kick, Barcelona. Sergio Busquets is a veteran of this fixture. He's only missed once since making his debut back in August of 2012 against Real Madrid. Sergio Roberto. Strange, isn't it? We put him on the team sheet as a right-back. He's hardly been in that berth so far. Very much a right-winger. Creator of the Barca goal.
That's the nature of a fullback though for Barcelona, is it? Dani Alves was exactly the same, wasn't it? Jordi Alba plays high up the pitch for Barcelona in their left-back position.
Acrobatics not enough from Jordi Alba.
Seem to be too perturbed about the knock that Ronaldo has picked up in the Champions League final, just 20 days away. I would be.
He'll be in the oxygen chamber as he normally is after the game tonight, won't he? Even when teammates are celebrating, Cristiano Ronaldo is working on perfecting his finely toned body. Coutinho to Busquets. Iniesta. Titi. Barcelona happy to slow it down to walking pace. You know, they can go up a couple of gears any time they want. Real can content to sit back to defend zonally. Now Lionel Messi, the fans get to the edge of the seats. Alba, Messi. Iniesta leaves it for Busquets, but Benzema had read the script. Kroos. Marcelo. Oh, Piqué only just got there. He's a little uncertain there.
It was a good shape from Real Madrid. I have to say, an improved system to what they had against Bayern Munich midweek. You can see the shape. Gareth Bale's lining up on the right side and being very disciplined in his performance so far. When they get back in position, they're holding their line, nice and compact, and when they win the ball back, they do break quickly. And are continuing to be a threat in this game, despite Barcelona having more possession. We know it's not easy when you get those players back in position, two banks of four, and the way that Barcelona move the ball about from side to side. It's a lot of hard work for Real Madrid.
Now Real Madrid coming alive, it's Benzema. That's a poor pass from the former France international. Fine dash of all people, Sergio Ramos, the centre-half in the left-back position. This was the perfect cross, and is there a better execution of a volley than that?
It's also the run of Lionel Messi. You can hardly blame the two Real Madrid defenders for concentrating their efforts on a sprinting Lionel Messi running into the penalty area. It was the way he changed pace on that run into the penalty box, and it was so dynamic, drew the attention of two defenders, left the room for Luis Suarez, and as I say, the perfect cross from Sergio Roberto.
Has there been a game this season where we haven't seen Gerard Piqué hobbling? Yet he starts every game and finishes every game. Marcelo. Gareth Bale. Back to Marcelo. Piqué had to get there. Nacho. Oh. Well, Ronaldo took the header, but I think the better placed player was behind him in Benzema.
It was the chances of Benzema shouting leave it to Ronaldo. Maybe just a touch offside. The assistant referee's flag doesn't go up. Ronaldo, difficult header to control.
Just over a quarter of the game has passed. Just joining us, Suarez scored after 10 minutes, barely 4 minutes later. Cristiano Ronaldo bravely knocked one over the line. Suarez to Rakitic. Busquets. Now Messi. Casemiro. Plenty of workspace on this left-hand side for Marcelo. Benzema. Backed up by Kroos. Kroos steadies himself, but the shot was rushed.
I think Barcelona have an issue with Coutinho on the right, not tracking the runs of Marcelo. Consider the way Real Madrid win the ball back quickly, sweeping it forward as quickly as possible. Great take from Toni Kroos. Involved in the build-up when they get the ball out wide to Ronaldo. There's not too many white shirts pouring forward on this occasion, just the three. And the total of that attack, Benzema with a head back across from the far post. Ronaldo gets on the end of it, had to get there before Piqué.
Modric, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Superb save from Ter Stegen. He was awake as his defenders fell asleep. Well, that was a little fitness test for Ronaldo when he passed. Wonderful turbo charge. The World Player of the Year. This is Marcelo. It was Cristiano Ronaldo's 449th goal for Real Madrid. It's 22nd in his last 13 games. Incredible statistics. Then Terry Gibson can't sleep at night. He stays up counting goals of Messi and Ronaldo. And in a second, he's going to give you a remarkable statistic, but that statistic may change here. If Ronaldo scores, but he just whisks one wide of the post.
Well, that would have been goal 1,098 if that had gone in between. The combination between Ronaldo and Messi in the last 10 years, club and country, which is absolutely ridiculous. And two players average 50 games a year, average 50 goals a season, not just for one season, 10 seasons. Astonishing rate. So they've broken every record. They're only breaking each other's records now. We're never going to see that again. To have two players doing it at the same time in the same division is just outrageous.
Well, there is that rather dull argument, who's the best, Ronaldo or Messi, but just enjoy the fact that they're both in our era and we can all watch them at the peak of their games. Still scoring. Messi 43 goals this season. Cristiano Ronaldo, all competitions, 43 goals this season. There we go, nothing between them. End of.
But people do question, don't they, why haven't other players won the Ballon d'Or? Because these two have done it. You see Ronaldo nearly doing it again there, and you know it's a long time ago. You could compare them when Ronaldo was left wing, Messi was right wing. That was a long time ago. Messi drifted in and played as the false number 9. Now he plays in a central position. Ronaldo, in general, this season, the last couple of seasons, has adapted and changed to a centre forward. But I doubt we'll see, certainly not in my lifetime, we won't see another player that comes along and gets 50 goals a year for 10 seasons consecutively, that plays that amount of games and stays fit and healthy. In years to come, we're going to look back at these two players and realise that, you know, they owned football for a decade.
Iniesta to Messi. Any other era, Andres Iniesta would have a Ballon d'Or at home. Maybe the greatest midfield player of this recent generation. Saying that, there's a fairly decent one directing things from the Real Madrid bench. The day has turned into night. The floodlights are prominent at the Camp Nou. Philippe Coutinho just hangs it in the air.
Just lost their way slightly, haven't they, Barcelona? They seem certainly upset by the goal that they conceded. It's unsettled them in terms of the way that they're playing. Just at one stage when they got the first goal, it really did look as if they were playing so sharp that they were going to be the obvious team to get the next goal. You can see Suarez pointing exactly where he wants it. Sergio Roberto knew exactly the time of cross to deliver. The first time finish from Suarez was immaculate.
Nacho, big ask for Modric. It's a long way around MTT.
Certainly suits Real Madrid more, doesn't it, as well, when Modric and Kroos are playing closer together. If they have the holding midfielder in a 4-3-3, those two combine so well. Gets Real Madrid more possession. They can both win the ball back, do the defensive side of the game as well, but they are so important. It hurts them when they're too far apart.
A tiny challenge from Varane. And a yellow card for the France international. He's not moving too freely. Many didn't expect him to play tonight. He was an outsider to make the starting 11 as he's got a pretty nasty leg injury. Oh dear. Well, the two players you would least expect to get into a stand-up fight would be Luka Modric and Jordi Alba. That's not one you'd be getting on Sky Box Office,
We were worried, weren't we, that it wasn't going to be competitive. Well, people were worried. When you see Modric and Jordi Alba, it's a risk from Jordi Alba. It is. Put his hands around the throat of Modric.
If the referee had seen that, would Alba have gone?
The law is on the face, isn't it? The throat is a huge risk as well by Jordi Alba. It's a heavyweight clash, that one, isn't it?
Flyweight, Terry.
Yep.
I think the adrenaline has settled and two of the more even-tempered players will carry on. The time I can recall Modric ever losing his temper was in the Spanish Super Cup a couple of years ago. He sent off against Atletico. Jordi Alba. There's Marcelo. Ramos. Oh, PK enjoyed that, flying over the top of Marcelo, across the line. Ramos. Nacho. Well, Valverde was the first coach in a couple of decades to lose his first 2 games in charge of Barcelona. They were both in the Spanish Super Cup. They were both against Real Madrid at the start of the season. Many feared the worst then. Nobody would have expected them to be the invincibles in La Liga. Ronaldo. Kroos. Nacho to Modric. Marcelo. Coutinho digs in. Casemiro. Pendulum has swung the way here of Real Madrid. Barcelona's turn to sit back. They've given Benzema a surprising amount of space. Benzema to Marcelo. PK completely missed the challenge. Marcelo squirms away with it. Ronaldo crowded out. Has a strong word with Gareth Bale. I'm not quite sure what that was about. Jordi Alba.
Can you see how quick Real Madrid are to get back into their defensive shape? Marcelo is the player. Not surprisingly, taking his time in getting back. He's back in position now, allowing Ramos to get back alongside Varane.
Jordi Alba to Andres Iniesta. Busquets. Rakitic. Roberto. Iniesta just never seems to rush, but his thought process was too quick for Gareth Bale.
It's a yellow card, Jimmy, to Gareth Bale. He's not the first player, he's one of the last that's going to be deceived by that technique of Iniesta. When he takes it across his body in that first touch, he's away from Gareth Bale, and that should be a yellow card for the Real Madrid player. Going to miss seeing that take from right to left or left to right. That's why he's the player, is he can do it both ways with either foot.
Navas has asked for just a one-man wall. Messi feeds it in towards Umtiti. I think the linesman was his saviour. Rich. Ronaldo's still not moving freely. He comes and takes the ball there for Luka Modric, but he's the hobbling hero at the moment, Terry.
It is something that he has to show some responsibility to as well, isn't it, with the Champions League final? But the Classico, he has scored, wants to score again, of course, but I'm pretty sure he's experienced and sensible enough to know that he's not taking a risk.
Ronaldo. Casemiro. Marcelo playing into a wall of whistles. Nacho, Modric. Retrieved by Marcelo. He wants to get onto his left foot, he does so. It's just a question of when. Ronaldo still rises high despite playing through the pain barrier.
Real Madrid clearly had been, in my opinion, the better team in the first half. Good start from Barcelona, but Real Madrid fought back to get the equaliser, having lots of possession. Surprisingly, they look the more settled of the two teams, and I say surprisingly because Zidane recently has chopped and changed systems. 4-3-3, 4-4-2, 4-4-2 with a diamond. But this is back to basics for Real Madrid. I think it's working. Good defensive shape. And of course, they're going to be a threat with attacking play. It's Barcelona who look the more disjointed, isn't it?
I suppose in some ways the coaches are cutting off the supply. Gareth Bale has had nothing to work with yet. Likewise, Casemiro is babysitting little Messi tonight. Not always marking him, but cutting off the obvious channel to...
We can see Bale's position now. He's almost in the right back position. What he's been asked to do is to stop, which is an obvious threat at Barcelona. It's those runs of Jordi Alba. You can see he's been really vigilant in terms of keeping his eye on Jordi Alba. He's got the good starting position. They're frustrating Barcelona.
Marcelo. Sergio Roberto. Rakitic. Messi. Iniesta. Gareth Bale in the right back position, as Terry pointed out, to Luka Modric. Varane to Ramos. Toni Kroos. Benzema. Bale is supporting him. Benzema going solo. Sometimes in a striker, greed is a virtue.
Again, though, you see Real Madrid sweep up the pitch rather easily. Benzema eventually. Just crossing it. Half shot, half cross towards the far post. Real Madrid clearly winning that midfield area, aren't they? It's the 3 against 2 that's Busquets and Rakitic are struggling to get a foothold in the game.
Well, there is the Ronaldo heat map. Most of the work done around the centre circle. That's because his team have been defending. He was red hot though, 2 yards away from goal in the 14th minute of the game to score the equaliser. Ramos enjoyed that, welcoming the new boy to the Clásico, Philippe Coutinho. Messi. Busquets. Suarez. Tease it for Busquets. Now to Lionel Messi. Game of patience being played by Barcelona. My eyes deceive me. Was that a bizarrely misplaced pass from Lionel Messi? Barcelona regain their equilibrium. Messi, Suarez. Coutinho, perfect pass. Lionel Messi, perfect save from Keylor Navas. Rakitic, Navas had retreated to his line.
Eventually a hopeful attempt from Rakitic, but you see the understanding between Coutinho and Messi. Excellent goalkeeping from Keylor Navas, read the situation well, was out sharply, doesn't commit a foul. He's the only Real Madrid defender that would have caught that.
Bale. Iniesta to Ivan Rakitic. Lionel Messi. Now Coutinho. Suarez. Well, Coutinho was offside. Oh no, Suarez is involved in a set-to with Sergio Ramos. No interpretation needed.
Would have thought those two would have got worked up at some stage during this game. All very untidy, wasn't it? The referee chose to allow the advantage. There wasn't much advantage. Suarez goes to the ground and he really takes offence with something that either that Ramos has done or said. Suarez is accusing Ramos of throwing his arm at him.
Well, possibly the two most combustible footballers in world football ever. They both have quite a rap sheet, we know, in the UK of Luis Suarez previous. Sergio Ramos, next time he is sent off, will be his 25th. It's just a yellow card for now.
Let's see what Ramos does, if anything. It's an arm to the chest, isn't it? And Suarez really does get worked up. Coutinho lays the ball off. Suarez then pushes the ball pass in towards Coutinho. I think Ramos certainly does everything he can, doesn't he, to try and block Luis Suarez and the run, and then tries to drag him up off the floor.
It is childish between a 30-year-old and a 32-year-old, but still entertaining at the same time. Oh, now Lionel Messi has left his autograph on the shin guard of Sergio Ramos. Do you think they're trying to wind Ramos up a little bit here, and Lionel Messi is guilty of that, or was Ramos making the most of it?
He tries the Cruyff turn, doesn't he? He tries to cut back inside Lionel Messi. I think there's slight contact, but the way that Messi went in, the way he roared across so quickly after the last incident, with the assistant referee and the referee, they're going to assume that there's a little bit more contact than they probably thought. The referee probably can't wait for the half-time whistle now to calm things down.
A Real Madrid captain trying a Cruyff turn on the Camp Nou turf, Terry.
Of course.
Not sure that's allowable. Here's Lionel Messi, cut out by Varane. The referee has added 2 minutes to a feisty first half. Rakitic. I remember when they visited here in the Spanish Super Cup earlier in the season. Cristiano Ronaldo was controversially sent off. Second yellow card for removing his shirt, wasn't it? Here's Suarez. Rakitic. Iniesta. Casemiro governs the defence. Plays it to Ronaldo. It's a big ask for Gareth Bale. Umtiti's quick as well. And he's muscular. And another sideshow.
Gareth Bale's really lucky, because that's a nasty challenge again. You can see the studs on the back of the calf. That's a terrible tackle. It's the second back tackle that Gareth Bale has made. I consider him to be lucky to avoid the yellow card for the foul on Iniesta. He can certainly count himself fortunate the referee hasn't booked him on that occasion. You can understand on that occasion why MTT is annoyed.
Well, if there is some kind of totting up system, the two challenges from Bale may have resulted in a card, and that may be a message that Messi is trying to get to Senor Gonzalez. Speedy to his friends. Sergio Roberto to Ter Stegen. There's another incident off the ball here, and Marcelo is down, and the referee shows a straight red. Sergio Roberto, dismissed recently against Celta de Vigo, he's off again.
This is going to be interesting to see, because Sergio Roberto tries to run the ball out, then he lays the ball off, and something happened off the ball. the players have lost their heads, haven't they, in the 5 minutes or so before half-time. A number of bad challenges, a number of head-to-heads between players. You see Sergio Roberto tries to run the ball out, he lays the ball off. Marcelo bumps into him, doesn't he? Sergio Roberto throws his arm up. How much does he make contact with Marcelo? It's a slap towards the face, isn't it?
Well, it was certainly a slap from Marcelo, but that's the point that Ronaldo is making. I'm not convinced he actually caught him across the face, but we'll have more replays. There's bonus time to the first half. They have a man extra, they're hoping for a goal extra here. It's Ronaldo. The wall is expensively but very well built. It's like watching world wrestling at the moment. Well, it started as a fiery affair, and the referee, Senor Gonzalez didn't wait around when Sergio Roberto is involved in the challenge with Marcelo. Almost every single remaining Barcelona player has surrounded the referee to have a little word in his shell-like. There's another angle of it. The referee was looking straight at the incident. He was merely 15 yards away, and he's added spice to what already was a very spicy affair. Half-time at the Camp Nou. Barcelona won.
And Gerard Piqué, who isn't too afraid to stir things up, shall we say.
He just done it.
And Nacho obviously isn't too happy about what has been said, shaking his head in disbelief. I wonder what the feeling is outside in the crowd. Not too many flags waving, are there? Interesting. The mood perhaps a little somber given that Barcelona are a man down. Now, Javi Gracia, what do you think Ernesto Valverde is going to do here? Nelson Semedo is an option off the bench. Does he go with him now?
Yeah, I think if they want to play with line of 4 back, they need to put Semedo like right back, and maybe Coutinho will be out and let Semedo the right side for him and try to have a good balance.
Oh, and look at this. Marco Asensio also ready to come on. Guillaume, just on Coutinho, he's been disappointing, hasn't he, this first half?
He has been, actually. He played on the right-hand side. When he does that, he's not sure yet what to do. And is he a midfielder? Is he a forward? I think sometimes it comes more natural to him to play on the left-hand side. But yeah, it's all been a little bit too slow on both sides, especially on Barcelona. Everybody wanted the ball to the feet. And now, 45 minutes for Barcelona to keep that unbeaten record, of course.
And two crucial substitutions here. So we've seen Semedo come on for Philippe Coutinho. Excellent work, Javi Gracia. You can come back. And Cristiano Ronaldo will not be playing the second half. Marco Asensio will be. Let's get into it then with Terry and Rob.
Well, the Masters have moved their pieces around for the second half. Big decisions made in both of the changing rooms at half times by Ernesto Valverde and also by Zinedine Zidane. Barcelona kicking off the second half. A man down. They said this was supposed to be the decaffeinated El Derby, El Gran Clasico. It's been piping hot so far with lots of little sideshows.
And it's so difficult for the referees, isn't it? The players don't help him, don't help themselves with pretending that they've been hurt worse than they are, pretending there's been more contact than there is.
For Roma, there's been a little clutch of selectorial
nibs, came to a head just before half-time. The substitutions have been forced on the coaches, haven't they, for obvious reasons. Sergio Roberto being sent off. It's so important that Barcelona still keep the back force as Semedo coming on for Coutinho, and of course Ronaldo must have been feeling the effects of that injury that we clearly saw him receive in the act of scoring the goal for Real Madrid. Just stiffened up, I would imagine, at half-time, so that change was forced upon Zidane.
Gareth Bale has gone into a more central role.
Some have been
Ronaldo withdrawn, an opportunity maybe for Gareth Bale to be a little more expressive. Sergio Roberto is the first Barcelona player to be sent off at the Camp Nou in 50 La Liga games here. more often than not, a dismissal in the Clásico. The last 6 cards have been to Real Madrid players, but the referee was certain of what he saw. It took Terry and I about the 35th replay at half-time to ascertain that maybe the referee was right. There's Marcelo.
Had substantial knowledge of nights like these with Newcastle and Tottenham. So Jermaine, facing what they do, what do you think?
Iniesta, ball stolen by Marcelo. He's a central figure in this game, and it's a lunge from Piqué to stop it.
You're looking to...
We're going to see Barcelona with the 10 men by 4 at the back, 3 midfield and 2 up front. So Iniesta's going to play slightly more infield. That's easier said, much alongside looking to get a goal and Busquets to make that trio.
At some point, try and get that away goal. It's so important. But they're coming up against
Cristiano Ronaldo has equaled the Clásico scoring record of the great Di Stefano. 18 goals in Clásicos. He won't be added to that today.
I was going to say, the coming against a Barca side has actually got a very good defensive record in the Champions League this season.
Top shape.
It's not been the best of starts.
Busquets to Piqué.
For Olympiacos and one by William at Chelsea.
It was only the 5th time that the BBC have been back together this season from the start. 5th time in 58 games. Lasted 45 minutes though, as Ronaldo watches from the touchline.
Long-term injury, the Portuguese at right full back.
I'm surprised at subdued Camp Nou.
The fact they've not gone with the belly today.
Messi might
On the
drive
right
them up
side,
in
decided to go with...
Well, they have to focus now, Barcelona, don't they? It was all free and pretty expansive in the first half, but they want to protect the unbeaten record. If they don't want Real Madrid to be the only team to beat them this season, they have to have a focus and make sure that they have a defensive shape, make sure they're a touch more organised when they don't have the ball.
It's interesting that both sides actually...
Messi would be asked to drop a touch deeper in the second half
Perez coming in at right
to
back
make
for
up the
Roma
numbers,
and
but
Florenzi.
Suarez clearly going to be holding the line, leading the line on his own.
Pellegrini. Here is Semedo.
Casemiro getting a full slice of the ball.
By Busquets.
Of course,
Little
every
man.
misplaced
Messi.
challenge or mistimed challenge is going to be cheered by the Barcelona supporters this evening.
Entry into the penalty area by Perez. Forward now by Strootman, who has Dzeko ahead of him, and Perez continuing his run.
Toni Kroos.
It's good play by Perez. He had to keep his eye on the ball. Alba actually made a fantastic run down the left. Messi just needed to slide him in to create the opportunity.
Using the flank spans in the Camp Nou.
Yeah, that's where the problem for Barcelona is going to be. If Real Madrid can switch the play quickly, from right to left to right, fullbacks, both fullbacks should be opening in lots of space.
Rested from the outset.
Modric. Marcelo.
Barcelona scored their equaliser in Seville.
Semedo coming to greet him. This is Benzema. Marcelo is there. Busquets effectively acting as an extra central defender at the moment.
Messi was being sweated on too.
Semedo, the brave half-time change from Valverde, but he has made, over the course of this season, a lot of significant changes that have worked.
Excellent challenge there, wasn't it, from Casemiro?
Against Chelsea and hasn't played since until now.
The news we're getting from the medical men that it is a slight ankle sprain for Cristiano Ronaldo.
Moving away from Perotti.
Iniesta should keep him out for 4 weeks. He's got a ticket to go, don't worry. There may not be any bets in care for the supporters, but he's got a ticket to go. There's
positive from Semedo, that. A little run down the right-hand side, nice 1-2. It's not great delivery.
He's hoping to keep a low profile, but no such luck.
Dzeko.
Messi to Busquets.
Piqué.
Rakitic.
Important because Piqué Florenzi was making the dart into the penalty
Iniesta.
area.
Suarez.
Iniesta. Messi is offside.
Iniesta.
It's actually been quite a strange start from Barca. Really, you expect them to be much slicker within their passing, a lot quicker, sharper. been a bit sloppy at times, I think. Not
I
really
suppose
got themselves
in a very
going
strange
yet.
way. Barcelona could be
That's
playing
credit
for
to
the draw. I
Roma,
know it's not
the
in their
fact that it's
nature.
not knowing the
It's sort of
atmosphere's a little bit
flamboyant,
dead in here
cavalier
as well.
football, but they are defending the title of the Invincibles. Only once before they had a season like this where they lost just one game. The last team to go through a Spanish season without defeat was Real Madrid. Real are trying to spoil that. It's Asensio who goes on his first run forward. But to touch them as well as
I don't think Real Madrid have to change their approach, do they? They have to be patient. When they win the ball back, you can see the impact they're having on the counter-attack.
It's Suarez to Lionel Messi. Messi draws the two defenders, gets over the challenge, and Lionel Messi, against the odds, gives Barcelona the lead. They're a man down, but maybe that doesn't matter when you have Messi on the field.
Real Madrid will have to change their approach now. Quite surprising to see Barcelona on the counter-attack. Real Madrid so exposed against 10 men. And it is brave for Valverde, any manager, when you have a player sent off and you're on level terms, to still keep the two attacking players on the pitch, up the pitch, looking to score goals, looking to win the game. It helps, mind, if one of them's Lionel Messi. Suarez does really well here. Tenacious play, there might be a claim from Real Madrid. He has impeded Rafael Varane. Once he moves the ball on to Lionel Messi, you see him, the perfect touch, the perfect amount of touches. Is that just the coming together? Certainly the referee allows the play to continue. Plenty of work for Barcelona to do. Look at those little touches from Lionel Messi, continuing to try to set himself up to take on exactly that type of finish. See, he wraps his foot around there. Again, it's inch perfect. Navas probably knows exactly what's happening. Good footwork to get across from the goalkeeper, but still not good enough. Messi, inch perfect, just enough the post. Sensational goal from Barcelona.
On Sunday night, they come to the church of Barcelona to worship Lionel Messi.
It's also a good line, I think, that they held.
Well, you say there may have been a claim for a free kick. As we were seeing the replays, the Real Madrid players were surrounding the referee, berating him for not giving the foul on Varane.
Getting behind you. He's having another super season, Luis Suarez, of course he is, but it's and normally in a month
it was almost a nervous hush at the start of the second half. The noise volume went from 0 to 10. This, well, the Real Madrid supporters will be saying there was a raking of the Achilles there.
I wouldn't have been surprised at all to have seen most referees penalise Luis Suarez in that occasion. It does lead to the goal, but ultimately there was a lot of work to do afterwards. Messi was open, of course. Still had two men to beat and the goalkeeper to beat from the edge of the box.
There's Busquets to Lionel Messi.
Turned out not to be.
Suarez finds Rakitic. Rakitic offside.
Fair play to Barcelona, down to 10 men, and they're going at Real Madrid with everything they've got. They've got ahead, and they're not showing any signs, are they now? Barcelona sitting back, retreating, holding on to the one goal advantage, still continuing to pour forward.
Piqué to Messi. Remember, Barca are a player down, and Gerard Piqué is gambling by going into a centre striker's position. Something you'd normally do if you were chasing the game. They're defending a one-goal lead, but the player less. Only 10 minutes gone into the second half against the reigning champions of Europe. Make no plans for the rest of the evening. There are going to be so many twists and turns and little subplots in this game of football.
Here's Dzeko. He's gone down under challenge from Semedo. It is nothing more nor less than a goal kick.
The referee's positioned in a
Marcelo.
spot after Saturday. It was a penalty.
Asensio.
Seen it, not going out there. Still got things to go. The size of Dzeko, Semedo's hardly touched him. Shocking actually for Dzeko to go over as easy as that.
Benzema.
Carotti.
Nacho. Safe hands of Marc-Andre ter Stegen.
Bruno Perez. Florenzi.
Suarez here moves the ball out to Rakitic, who was just could have been offside. Again, it's inches, isn't it?
Some opportunity
Similar to the one in the first half where
balls in
Ronaldo
between the lines,
scored offside.
playing very clear, they're getting after players. As you can see again here, they're quite happy to go and try and run the ball as high up as they possibly can. This kind of like 4-4-2 formation that...
Well, quite often this season, it has been a trademark of Ernesto Valverde. He makes a very early second half change, maybe on a half time. But that was a reaction to Sergio Roberto going off. Paulinho comes on. And it is an emotional farewell to Classico football for the great Andres Iniesta. His 38th Classico has been as dramatic as his first Classico, and most in between. He accepts that he's no longer a 90-minute man, and that is why he's heading off to China to see out the autumn days of his footballing career. Man, woman, child, grandma, granddad, everybody in the Camp Nou stands up to acknowledge the Classico farewell of one of the greats.
Bruno Perez.
I'm sure at some point this evening the plan was to take him off to let him take in the adulation. But in the situation, it's a tactical change there. It's a needs-must, isn't it?
Yep, that's a concession to the scoreline. But I have to say, he was leading Barcelona in terms of his courage on the ball in possession, making sure that they kept possession and were brave with their possession. They're going to miss that now. I'm not talking about in the future, I'm talking about in this particular match.
Away goes Semedo, one of the substitutes. Paulinho's in there! Well, his first kick of the game was absolutely to the midriff of the Real Madrid goalkeeper Navas, as they both bravely went chasing that ball. No malice attached. Doesn't help ease the pain of the Costa Rican keeper.
I'm surprised that he didn't just drive inside into the box.
I think he catches the full force of the challenge from Paulinho. Of course, no malice intended. It's a challenge that they both have to go for, but I'm pretty sure when we see the replay, boot to Paulinho is going to catch Keylor Navas. Semedo gets in behind Ramos, whips a really good cross, and you can see the hefty old collision between the two there. Paulinho stretching, his eyes are fixed firmly on the balls. Likewise with Keylor Navas, and an occupational hazard for a goalkeeper. Hazard.
The ball from Kroos. Ter Stegen tiptoes off his line. Here's Paulinho, who has been the surprise success of the season. He didn't come with a great reference from Tottenham Hotspur. He built his career in China. Rakitic is flawed. I told you every challenge was going to be Jim. Ramos is already on the yellow card. Didn't do a great deal to get out of the way of his
I think that's
opposing number 4.
It's going to be his last chance, isn't it?
A former Roma player has scored in the other quarter-final.
3 in the last 8, 5 overall. Next question.
Liverpool at Anfield, his 38th goal of the season. Liverpool 1, Manchester City 0
Messi
at
almost
Anfield.
finding Luis Suarez. Gareth Bale. Clever ball by Bale to Casemiro.
Titi, that's a beautifully weighted ball, and Jordi Alba would have made good. Had it not been for a
spare man
brilliant
in attack
retrieval
here.
from Perez.
Benzema is flanked by Marcelo. Marcelo back and brilliant defending by Gerard Piqué.
Strike from Messi was
Busquets.
sensational as well, but just nearly got caught out there, Perez, with that through ball.
A high boot from Ramos. It is like the pantomime. Every time he goes after the ball, there are boos and hisses.
Jordi Alba for Messi.
It's a foul, isn't it?
For Sergio Roberto.
On this occasion, not a yellow card. He actually gets to the ball first, doesn't he? It's actually the ball that strikes the head of Sergio Busquets.
Jordi Alba.
Just going to say, he needs to show a touch more discipline, but that's not going to happen. He's not going to change, is he? We've seen him in all sorts of positions, making all sorts of reckless challenges.
Couldn't make it stick, but he It's being bundled by Rakitic.
Alberti.
It's good play from Dzeko.
Paulinho.
Exactly what I mean in that situation. You know, Barca got the
his
press
weight
on,
for long
Colorado
though.
under
Now
pressure.
Paulinho, another former Tottenham
Out ball
to Messi.
Uses his strength and his size,
Rakitic leaves it for
experience,
Nelson
to
Semedo.
lead the pressure.
Scored on this
Busquets.
ground the last time Roma were here 2.5 years ago, Edin Dzeko.
Referee thought long and hard about that. A free kick in a very tempting position for Lionel Messi.
I'm sure it is exactly against the contact with Messi as he tries to get between Casemiro and Nacho. Number of Barcelona players hopefully standing around the free kick.
There's only one candidate there, Terry, isn't there?
Luis Suarez is normally Messi's caddy.
Follow up with a
Stands
snag.
over him, tells him what club to take, tells him the yardage, and then moves away. He never takes one. He's always there offering advice. I wonder what Suarez has told Messi to do here.
Jordi Alba. Titi.
It's a seven-man war.
Iniesta.
Messi
Jordi
hits the
Alba.
centre of the well-built wall.
Suarez. Iniesta.
Marcelo was doing that familiar crouch behind the ball as
Sergio
well, so if the ball
Perez,
jumps, he was behind it. He was going to stay low, so Messi can go underneath.
Well, that was Lionel Messi's 551st goal for Barcelona. Ronaldo scored 449 after tonight. That gives you around 1,000 goals between the two of them.
To warn Roma from painful recent experience that we can do a lot right on this
clubs.
ground and feel as though you're ticking all the boxes and the game can still disappear in a flash.
That's a big
Kroos.
worry. At the minute watching this Barcelona side, they're in second gear.
Modric.
You know, the stadium's not got rocking yet. The players are not really
Asensio.
got that flow and rhythm to their play yet.
Marcelo.
Here's Suarez. His shot is deflected off Manolas and Barca had a corner.
Marco Asensio. It's a poor cross, easy for Umtiti. Here's Ramos.
He's been quiet, Suarez, in this game. Another
Nacho.
shot from distance. Roma will be delighted to
Varane.
just deal with those. That's all they've got for the rest of the game. Doubt
Maybe
it
to be a
very
little
much.
more
More to
forthright
come,
than this.
Barcelona, but at the minute Roma
I think there's an element of surprise in their game in the second half that Barcelona were so
Okay, forward
offensive
for the set piece. Rakitic
in
delivers.
terms of attacking play.
Like Kolarov.
Possession.
It's come to Rakitic
Barcelona
again,
certainly
and he's hit the
played
post.
a lot quicker,
and
a lot
it came to
sharper.
Suarez, and he
In the
blasted
build-up
over.
to that second goal.
brilliant from Rakitic. Really is. Some poor
Gareth Bale.
defending, actually.
Karim Benzema.
Bouncing around, just lack of communication.
Bale
Two
draws
players
breath.
going for the same ball.
Stuck in the
Rakic's
back of
got
the
one
legs
foot
of
on his line,
Umtiti.
trying to rip this toward the back post. He's not trying to pick anybody out.
Now
Technique's
Benzema.
absolutely perfect. It actually goes through Dzeko's legs,
Bale
but
enters with intent. Ran into Umtiti. The ball had gone too far ahead of the Wales international.
It's a huge 25 minutes of football now for Gareth Bale, isn't it? With no Ronaldo on the pitch, Benzema not in great form.
National side scoring.
Bale throws himself down onto the ground there.
Against
That
Mexico.
Gareth Bale really grabs this game by the scruff of the neck.
Now is the greatest threat yet to Eusebio Di Francesco's
Paulinho.
Roma.
Fine challenge by Casemiro. Ramos. Modric. Great width supporting Modric. Nacho stayed here on the halfway line. Expected
Yellow
Carvajal
balloons on
was
the
going to
field,
be bombing down the
which I think
touchline.
Exactly.
Jermaine, I would
Carvajal's
like
a
to
miss,
say
isn't
this
he? So is
for
Isco
sure,
as well,
because
who's
the
out
goal,
injured.
but I suspect has something
Here's
to do with
Asensio.
Catalan
Teaser for
politics.
Marcelo.
oh no, you've got it right.
Benzema slips. Cleared by Rakitic.
With, the yellow ribbon we sometimes contentiously see worn by Pep Guardiola.
Lucas Vazquez is going through his stretching routine. With the next one together, a taste of the Classico. There we go, just short of 98,000 supporters.
He ran out of places to go, but he has won a throw for Roma.
97,939. Some of them finding their voice again after the shock of losing Sergio Roberto. After the exultation of Lionel Messi giving Barcelona a lead.
Hurry with the free kick, that is.
Almost three-quarters of the way through the match. Camp Nou is energised, nervously. Gareth Bale, Benzema, followed every step of the way, every breath of the way by Umtiti. Asensio. That was almost the same blade of grass that Suarez administered the volley in the first half.
Yeah, a little bit of space, a bit more time in possession for Real Madrid, good possession as well. And normally with back Marco Asensio, wouldn't you, to do far better with that technique. Semedo eventually sees it out, Gareth Bale knocks it past as the Umtiti comes across and blocks him off, and Gareth Bale appealing for the penalty.
Just a reminder, should you need it, that of course Liverpool and Manchester City
that shows off. Lucas Vazquez is on.
HD and the 4K
Surely,
HD right now. Last we heard,
he's against 10 men.
Liverpool ahead by a Mo Salah
The
goal.
experiment of playing him at right back against Bayern Munich was an experiment we didn't think would be repeated.
No, but I can understand why Zidane is doing it. In these circumstances, when you've got the man advantage, you've got Nacho hasn't been back from injury that long. He only just made the bench and starts today, has been out for a month. So why not put a winger? It's when you imagine that Real Madrid should have more possession, they're still going to have to do some defending, but not as much defending as they had to do against Bayern Munich.
Messi,
positional player Lucas Vazquez was found wanting on occasions, and in fact Modric ended up playing almost right back to help protect him. Been counting the minutes of the players this season. With Vazquez and Asensio coming on, they are the two most frequently used players, not always starters, but each are participating in their 50th game of the season. This is cut out by Rakitic. Oh, he goes through Ramos as if he wasn't there. Ramos was there.
1v1, he'll absolutely go by with no problem.
Casemiro is playing an important game as the ball winner in midfield. He's one that hasn't been sacrificed. Asensio to Benzema. The tackle with Semedo.
Casemiro has to knuckle down, doesn't he? He lost his place. He was brought off in the half-time against Juventus. Didn't start against Bayern Munich. Kovacic played instead of him, so Casemiro is focused and disciplined on the job that he's asked to do. He does it really well for Real Madrid.
Has left a gap for Rakitic to attack.
Modric.
Messi.
By Umtiti. Luis Suarez hits it long. It's into the slipstream of Messi. The goalkeeper decides to stay. Right decision. It's one of the most fearsome sights in football. Lionel Messi bearing down on you with half a field to spare. But on this occasion, it's the keeper who comes off best.
He's working really hard there, Messi, but I expected more than that. I didn't expect him to go a straightforward sprint, get there. He lost control. Takes a touch from that angle, tries to find the far post. I was waiting for a dummy, a drop of the shoulder. Clearly away from Sergio Ramos.
Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, 2-0
to get alongside him. Was there available for the tap-in.
City can become champions of England this coming weekend.
Well, the ball is in the
on the European prize
by the corner flag, but there's no Barcelona player there to take it. Rakitic is having a Sunday evening stroll.
Barcelona have only a 9-point lead at the top of La Liga.
Ramos only gets ahead, there's no direction.
Manchester Dynamics.
Direction on that is right to the supporters behind the goal, decked out in the Senyera. When they played in the cup final, they were confiscating anything that was yellow and red. The Estrelladores, the band flag, a few of those around the stadium, but the supporters have answered the call to wear the Catalan colours this evening. Messi's corner. Ramos. Benzema in there. It's Busquets with the header. Pinning Real Madrid back.
Also need to lift it though. I have to say they've been playing well below what I expect, and I think what a lot of people expect. You know, this team, and what they're capable of. From Roma's perspective, they'll be delighted with the way the game's going.
Marcelo
into their hands, if anything.
hits it blindly. Barcelona won't mind that. Ter Stegen will just eat up a few valuable seconds. Presidential has a different meaning these days, but it's hard to be presidential on an evening like this. Diplomatic maybe is better.
Roberto with an errant header, Pellegrini onto it, De Rossi, Tarotti, Kolarov. Lazio.
Lovely ball to Gareth Bale! Brilliant Bale!
Titi.
He needed 1 second to change the course of the game there. And now 11-man Real Madrid are equal against 10 men Barcelona with 18 minutes to play.
Well, I talked about Gareth Bale taking this game by the scruff of the neck because he has the quality, has the ability. Real Madrid, you have to give credit to them. They keep fighting back. I know they've got the man advantage. It's a smart pass from Asensio into the path of Gareth Bale, who can take it on first time. Generates real power, wraps his foot around the ball with his left foot, starts it outside the post. Absolutely no chance, no point in Ter Stegen, even diving. It's a brilliant finish from Gareth Bale to put Real Madrid back on level terms.
Well, that has changed the dynamic of this Clásico. Barcelona have a long 17 minutes or so to hang on in there. Again, we said before, that's not in their nature to hang on in, but they are defending the title of the Invincibles. Paulinho. It is a who's who in the score sheet tonight. Suarez, Ronaldo, Messi and Bale. That's some billing. Hollywood football.
Semedo. Critical interception by Strootman.
Semedo. Busquets.
Only by Piqué.
Lionel Messi.
Titi.
Paulinho.
Jordi Alba. Iniesta. Suarez.
Rakitic.
Kept on gliding into the box.
Steps away from Asensio. A little bit of afters there. Referee acknowledges that he's seen it.
Jordi Alba.
Asks
Messi.
Barcelona to keep
Suarez.
the ball rolling.
Nicked away by Alisson. That was smooth.
Piqué.
It's really smooth.
In two minds, he
Been
decides to
waiting
go
for
on
it though.
charge
Put together
upfield.
that slick move, that
Bring
quick
down
one.
Casemiro. It's
Initially it was
space in the Barcelona
play from
defence to be
Suarez,
exploited if they can move it
quickly
quickly.
turned it on. Lovely little 1-2 with Lionel Messi.
Piqué is back.
Good strike across goal.
Marcelo.
Alisson does well to get it away from goal as well.
Messi up to his tricks again. Pellegrini kept his eye on the ball and now emerges with the ball. Dzeko.
Toni Kroos. Gareth Bale.
Aimed early here towards Florenzi, who is onside.
Marcelo to
Semedo caught
Kroos.
him up.
Asensio, this is the extra man, the wingman. It's his first cross of the game and it's a forgettable one.
Look how high the Real Madrid players are. The two players in the penalty area closing down. Four strong across the middle. They were really in the high end of the pitch in terms of offensive play.
Gareth Bale. Asensio. Vasquez. Asensio again prefers it on his left foot. Seeks Marcelo. Marcelo trying to keep a cool head. Marcelo is winning no friends in Barcelona this evening. Eyewitnesses felt that he'd made the most of a slap just before half-time from Sergio Roberto. And the referee was not buying that fall in the penalty area.
Piqué again is going forward. You can see Rakitic, his teammate, telling him to get back.
Well, Gareth Bale has committed a number of fouls in this game, and after 76 minutes he receives his first yellow card. Now Marcelo's in trouble. 2 for the price of 1.
Marcelo obviously complaining about the decision that didn't go the way of Real Madrid. Gareth Bale again, in my opinion, is lucky to be on the pitch, lucky to be getting the equalising goal for Real Madrid, because 2 bad challenges in the first half. That was a penalty.
Yep.
It's a slight miscontrol for Marcelo, which believes that makes Jordi Alba believe he's going to win the ball cleanly. Completely misses the ball, clatters into the shin of Marcelo, and that should have been a penalty.
Well, to the naked, untrained eye, and to the referee's eye as well, in real play, it didn't look like a penalty. But next season, when in La Liga they promised to introduce VAR, good luck with that. The referee's video assistant may well have told him that Marcelo was caught in the area. No penalty given. Remains 2-2. When they met in the Spanish Super Cup earlier this season, it was the team who finished a player like Real Madrid that won, and Ronaldo was sent off, and the sealing goal was scored in the 90th minute by Asensio. So it's following a familiar pattern. Vasquez. And Tite will let that roll out of play. The ball boys have gone on strike.
It's a clear penalty, isn't it? And looking at the referee's position, he's behind 1 or 2 Barcelona players.
Every replay you see seems to confirm that, yeah. Can't be such a thing as a left-backs union. Here's Marcelo. Gross. Tony Gross too much on that pass, even for Vasquez. He kept it in play. There's Jordi Alba. Vasquez throwing over Tite. They take it very quickly. It's Paulinho to Lionel Messi. Marcelo catches it. Marcelo's the baddie of the piece today. He's even ahead of Ronaldo and Ramos in the unpopularity stakes with the Barcelona supporters. Asensio. Busquets to Modric. Vasquez. Blocked by the Kool-Aid.
You can see why Lucas Vasquez has been brought on. He's spending most of his time playing in the attacking position.
Asensio. Marcelo. Every Barcelona player is back defending. The most important one, though, was Piqué, throwing his tired body to the floor. Marcelo. Vasquez. Modric, always rising.
Barcelona put so much into that first 15-20 minutes of the second half when they were explosive, which leads to the goal from Lionel Messi. Skips around Casemiro, Ramos can't get close to Lionel Messi, and then of course the familiar finish from Messi. Just bends it inch perfect into the corner.
Messi extending the Clasico goal-scoring record. He's 26th in 38 Clásicos between these two clubs. Suarez, Paulinho. Ramos makes a mistake. Messi gets around Ramos. Magic again from Lionel Messi.
He's just chasing everything. He's working so hard, scurrying around the pitch, putting Ramos under pressure, forcing Ramos into a mistake. And that's close, isn't it, towards the far post. Doesn't just get the necessary curl he's hoping for.
Oh, an air kick from Ramos as his pocket is picked by Messi. Now he goes around Casemiro, and he tried to beat Navas at the near post. Audacious. But Keylor Navas is having a sensational game in the Real Madrid goal.
And so is Lionel Messi, Robin. Picks up the ball here from Rakitic. Threads it around Casemiro, gets the other side so easy. Looks to see where the support is and tries to beat the goalkeeper at the near post. That wasn't a miss-hit cross. He's trying with his right foot to beat Keylor Navas at his near post. It's in his mind, the goal from Kimmich against Bayern Munich as well, wasn't it? Similar position.
It's aimed towards Gerard Piqué, who gets his head on the ball, but it was from a standing start. Bumping into his old friend Sergio Ramos there, his partner for the national team. Oh, this was that brilliant take from Gareth Bale.
It's a good pass from Asensio. He's looking the opposite direction. He's looking to the left. Disguises it when he shoves it into Gareth Bale, into the path of Gareth Bale. Just on the edge of the box. It's a straightforward finish, actually, for Gareth Bale on his left foot, 20 yards out, 18 yards out. To wrap his foot around and get the power on the curl, because he is such a good player, and that is that quality.
Marcelo bent him up. Marcelo again. Umtiti had to rise high, and a bit of housekeeping from Jordi Alba.
Well, he's playing like a player that's on a mission there, isn't he, Gareth Bale? We wanted to see that for some while. He's doing it in a Clasico, scored a goal. He's left his mark on 2 or 3 players, in particular with putting his foot in, being aggressive, and now going all out to be the match winner for Real Madrid.
Vasquez, Piqué, it's like a training exercise, header after header. When they Barcelona defenders, Piqué's going to have a headache after this one. Final roll of the dice from Zidane. Toni Kroos comes off, bit of dash and panache from Kovacic, the Croatian international. Comes on to celebrate his 24th birthday at the Camp Nou. Asensio fighting at the far post, and Ramos was offside. I think Andres Iniesta taking it all in. An unpleasant hug between the two of them.
It looks ridiculous, doesn't it, in slow motion, when the ball's not in the frame.
I was enjoying the story that Guillaume was telling before the game, as Suarez and Ramos go shoulder to shoulder. For the first time. Remember, Suarez and Ramos have already been booked in this game. Andres Iniesta, when he goes to China, is apparently going to be earning 27 million euros a year. And there is a salary cap over that. So they've also got a deal in place to apparently from his winery to take in 6 million bottles of wine. Trade price, Terry will know this, is around €6. That's going to make up the rest of the salary. Barcelona are down to 9 men at the moment because Suarez is down on the floor. Rakitic tries to kick for touch. Rayler not putting it out of play. They're chasing a winner. Strong challenge from Jordi Alba. This is Vasquez. Well, they're surrounding Vasquez, asking why he wouldn't put it out. Would you?
Why
5 minutes to go in a Clásico.
Why him? There was number 6 Real Madrid players that had possession of the ball as well. See Ramos and Suarez again. Suarez shoves his body in the way, doesn't he? He hasn't moved. It doesn't look an awful lot of contact, does there? It's a collision. You have to reserve judgment. You don't know how a player's landed, whether he's pulled a muscle.
He does look to be in some genuine pain. Well, the view from the moon, it seems, down on the Camp Nou. Just 3 minutes to go. Nobody but nobody is leaving the stadium just yet as we approach the grand finale.
You see the ability of Asensio and Gareth Bale.
Well, they say it hasn't been a successful season for Gareth Bale. That's his 19th goal in all competitions. His problem started about a year ago now, didn't it? It was April last year he picked up that injury. And he's only managed 25, well, less than 25% of the games in the last 12 months for Real Madrid. But his goal is the most important one at the moment. It's the one that has equalised this game. You just know there is one headline incident left in this, don't you? Asensio. Kovacic. Marcelo. Asensio's cross. Gymnastic clearance from Piqué. Suarez seems to be okay after the medical treatment. He's not now. Fair tackle in the eyes of the referee. Hernandez. Ball hangs in the air. Alba waits for ter Stegen, who just diligently picks the ball up, takes his time, has a look at the stadium clock, recognises there's 1.5 minutes to go, but the ball is given away. It's Luka Modric. They have players in the area. Modric has Vasquez with him. Umtiti uncertain of where the ball is, uncertain of his bearings. Well, Ronaldo so wishes he was out there.
Well, Kovacic on this occasion clearly does get the ball, doesn't he? There's contact with Luis Suarez. I think Luis Suarez is making the most of it, isn't he? Last-ditch defending from Gerard Piqué.
He has one final change left. Alcacer is preparing to come on. Probably just to see out the stoppage time. Might be a time-consuming change. Probably Suarez who's going to go off. A player down, you can't afford to be carrying an injured player either. All hands to the pump for Barcelona. Modric to Bale. Varane. Now Vasquez. Bale comes and receives. Barcelona keeping Real Madrid at a safe 30-yard distance. Bale gains some yardage. It's cleared by Busquets to Suarez.
know your players there. Suarez, surely. He's gave Paulinho a ball to chase against Varane, and it was Messi on the other side up against Ramos.
Real Madrid take the throw, but the fourth official is trying to catch his attention to make the alteration. They're going to have to wait. We're into 4 minutes of stoppage time. If you are a Barcelona supporter, that's going to seem like a lifetime. If you're wearing Real Madrid colours this evening, you're going to feel that that is a very short amount of time to find the winning goal. Modric. Marcelo. Bad ball terrible ball from Marcelo. Momentum is lost. Zidane punches the air in frustration, and Barcelona will make the change. We can guarantee that Suarez is going to go temporarily deaf. As Alcacer comes on. They'll utilise every second the referee will allow them here. He's the man who started the scoring way back after 10 minutes of this game. A total appreciation of the Uruguayan striker. They come from far and wide to see this Barcelona team with their own eyes, and the Real Madrid Champions League finalists. Referee set a minimum, remember, minimum of 4 minutes. I think it's going to be a couple of minutes beyond that, as Barcelona took almost a minute to make that change. Paulinho. Chased down by Kovacic. Enters the area. Kovacic gives away in the corner.
Yeah, good driving run from Paulinho. A good hold-up play from Paco Alcacer as well. Paulinho driving towards the box. No sense of Paulinho running towards the corner flag and holding on to possession in order to preserve this unbeaten run. This season stretches back to last season. This stage of the game, you always tend to wrap up the game, and I'm reluctant in these circumstances with these two teams, with a history that we've seen in recent seasons, with late goals, decisive goals, still could go either way.
Well, they're going for the goal. Rakitic flies it in there. Real Madrid clear their lines. Busquets to Paulinho. Casemiro skies it. Some coaching manuals, Terry, you'd be telling the players to get by the corner flag, keep it in there, play down the stadium clock.
The offside does Barcelona.
They maybe don't teach that in La Masia, do they? In the documentary that Guillem's been filming.
They retreated, back in shape. Very quickly, one last attack from Real Madrid.
Right, we're into the final few paragraphs of the story. How does the tail end? Bale doesn't get there. Rakitic gives it to Busquets. Messi plays it to Paulinho. He's got Rakitic alongside him. Messi down this side. Paulinho carries the ball. They were still going for the winner, and he had plenty of support, which has left them a little bit short at the back. Gareth Bale. How he could silence his critics if he could get the winning goal. Oh, and it was almost there. It needed an immense block to stop him. You'd be tempted to throw the keeper, Keylor Navas, up for this, wouldn't you? They're beyond the promised time now. This is surely the last offensive play of the game. Well, Ramos has done it many times in many games and scored a dramatic goal. That's where it's aimed. Bravery, brilliant bravery from Semedo, who's played his part in this. Came on at half-time after Sergio Roberto is dismissed. The referee adding to the agony. Vasquez, there's a tumble in the area. It was Ramos taking out Rakitic. And the entertainment is complete. Hugs between the managers. Barcelona remain invincible this season. The last team to do so was in an 18-team league. Real Madrid back in the 30s. They're within touching distance, but But boy, it was a fight against Real Madrid. A who's who of scorers in this game. Suarez made it 1-0. Cristiano Ronaldo 1-1. Lionel Messi got a great goal. Gareth Bale with a fine touch as well. And sandwiched in the middle of that, yet another red card in a Clasico. Sergio Roberto. It has been a footballing war out there, but they're all friends now. The Barcelona flag flying high and proud